590, Benjamin Bowman. And see, I have reviewed, it's a petition by Mr. Bowman. I've reviewed the audio. I also spoke with Judge Osmond. I believe that this matter was improperly, or there was a clerical error, and it was both scheduled last week and this week, but the notice I don't think was for this week. And so Judge Osmond asked if we are asked to go ahead and put it on today. I know we're double booked, but I talked to Ms. Battle yesterday and thought that we'd have an agreement in the first one, similar to the hearing that we had yesterday. So this matter is scheduled. Let me let anybody who is here. I see it looks like Mr. Bowman. Is this Mr.? Yeah, Mr. Bowman. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, sure. My name is Benjamin Bowman. I am the resident here who is requesting the body camera footage. With regard, though, I just want to point out really quickly.
Hold on one second, Mr. Bowman. Right now, just for the record, I want to make sure that we let everybody introduce themselves, and then I'm going to hear from you and Ms. Battle as with regard to whether there's an agreement with regard to this matter, or whether this is contested, and or exactly what it is you're requesting. So I'll give you a chance to speak in just a minute, but let me see, is there anybody else here, Ms. Battle? I don't see anybody else, but you're here representing CMPD for this matter as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Few, are you just observing on this as well?
That's correct.
And Mr. Bunning, I don't think that the DA's office is involved in this one, but so
I'm just staying on because I think we've got a 2:30. So
you do have a case. There's a case with Mr. Lauren at 2:30. So, but you guys are not involved in this one, correct?
I do not believe so, Your Honor.
Is there anybody else on the call here virtually with respect to the matter involving Mr. Bowman? Okay, Mr. Bowman. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I know that there was a stated issue regarding notice. Last time we were here last week, I didn't have a chance to address that notice issue, or I didn't know that I had. I brought up a notice issue, right?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
There was a couple of issues that I had with regard to CMPD's allegation that they didn't receive notice. In fact, CMPD, their own representatives, confirmed notice on multiple occasions for the previous date. I've got video evidence of when I went and
Mr. Bowman,
yeah.
We're here today. Everybody's here today, so we could argue about whether we should have proceeded last week or not. But I think, I think that we're all here today, so we can go ahead and proceed with your request at this point. I don't think CMPD is asking not to proceed, or do you not want to proceed today?
Well, I'm just concerned about obstruction of justice because, again, notice was provided through the clerk. Notice was provided by me via email. And again, on recorded conversations, CMPD has confirmed receipt of notice. And so I would prefer just having a default judgment, releasing the body camera footage immediately.
All right, sir. Thank you. Ms. Battle, do you want to be heard?
Your Honor, no, I don't believe CPD has any objection. We were uncertain, though, Your Honor, whether Mr. Bowman wanted release of the videos for purposes of putting on social media or other outlets, or for the purpose of to proceed with civil litigation. The reason being, any recordings that are going to go to the media, we typically ask the court, as we did in the previous two hearings yesterday and today, that under 143-318 for closed session, that CPD be permitted to disclose the recordings to City Council in closed session before any videos were to go out to the media, just to update them on a matter before something went public. And so depending on whether or not Mr. Bowman wanted to make the videos public versus just to use them for pro se or through an attorney for civil litigation, we would have just added that condition that if he is seeking public release, that CMPD also be permitted to disclose to city council in closed session. If he only wants it to keep it confidential or give to his attorney, then we would not ask for that council viewing.
Mr. Bowman, it sounds like CMPD is not objecting to your request. They are agreeing to release, for the court to order that the recordings be released to your possession so that you can utilize them. But if you are going to publish them in any way, CMPD is requesting that they be offered the opportunity to, just as was pursuant to North Carolina law, that they be allowed to show those videos to the city council in a closed door session contemporaneous with their release, so that the city council government officials are prepared or understand what's being released.
What time, let me ask a couple of questions. What timelines are we talking about with regard to allowing city council to view? My concern is simply, common tactics of delay, deny, defend. And just a little bit of context. This is really important because it gets to the issue of qualified immunity. And so I think the public has a duty to know and a right to know what's going on with with the largest police station or the largest police department in the state and how they handle Americans with disabilities.
Okay. So you intend to publish it, is that correct?
I
On
intend
social media or otherwise?
I haven't decided that yet. I don't want restrictions on that.
Mr. Bowman, what's being requested by the city through Ms. Battle is not that you be limited in how you utilize those recordings. They don't care how you use the recordings. They just want an opportunity to show the city council the recordings at the time that they're released so that they know what's being released.
I see.
That's
So
all they're asking for. They're not trying to limit you in any way.
Okay, let me repeat so that I make sure I understand if it's not too much trouble.
Not at all.
So what you're essentially saying is CMPD wants an opportunity to simultaneously share the videos with city council at or around the same time that a potential media outlet might publish it. Is that correct?
At the time that they release it to you. So it would be a one-time thing. So Ms. Battle would request from the city council, do they want to have that closed? I should ask you, Ms. Battle, the particulars as to what you would do, but my understanding would be that she would find out from the city council whether they want to view the videos in a closed door session at the time that they release it. So shortly, not every time that it's going to be, if a media outlet picked it up, or if you released it every time you release it on social media, it would be a one-time thing. Ms. Battle, maybe you can explain how that process works. I'm sure you can better than I can.
Yes, Your Honor. What we would typically ask the court is that city council meetings are on Monday nights, and generally that would be when the closed session is. We would ask the court authorization to show city council in closed session on a Monday night and either release to petitioner on a Monday night afternoon, but more than likely probably release to petitioner first thing that Tuesday morning. We would just want to brief council on situations prior to video being placed on the media, and that would give us time to brief council in closed session, give any release recordings to Mr. Bowman the next morning, and then from there, whether he or a media release were to put it out, CMPD would not have any restrictions or questions about that.
I know that sounds reasonable, but I think with regard to this, CMPD has already acted in bad faith by denying they received notice. I'm more than happy to pull up the proof and the evidence. I don't know why a closed session at this point needs to happen. CMPD has ignored several of my requests and emails to resolve the situation amicably. So this is something that CMPD has had chance to prepare for in advance. I think what's the request now is not done in good faith. I don't see any reason why City Council needs to look at that in closed session. Perhaps if the City Council needs to be looped in, then they can be looped in as soon as the body camera footage is released. And I think that way we're preserving public trust in our government institutions.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Battle, how quickly can you arrange to have a closed session if in fact that's what they want to do, and then release it to Mr. Bowman? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Unmuted. Can you hear me though?
And now,
Okay, I
yeah.
was gonna say, it shows unmuted for me. Okay. Without Your Honor knowing City Council's closed session calendar, we have to request to be put on the calendar. I would ask that we be able to do a closed session, hopefully like maybe the 27th. Next Monday is a holiday. And so if we were able to do closed session to council on Monday, the 27th, with release to Mr. Bowman first thing on Tuesday, the 28th in the morning, if the court were to allow such.
I'm going to allow that. I understand you're in disagreement with that, Mr. Bowman, but that
Well,
would.
Judge, here's why, because that puts me past my statute of limitations. And I think with regard to, again, making sure that I'm able to include all of the claims within my federal lawsuit, I'm prejudiced procedurally from doing that immediately and doing so the right way the first time. And so
Mr.
that's what
Bowman, if you don't want to release it and you only want to use it for litigation, then I'll order them to release it to you today. But if you want to release it, and I understood you saying that you wanted to release it on social media and or on other media outlets, which is your right, and that's fine if media outlets wish to do that. But in that event, the law is pretty clear that it provides the releasing authority, the CMPD, an opportunity, or the City Council an opportunity to review what in a closed session what is being released. So you don't, in order to file a lawsuit, you don't have to include the exhibits in the lawsuit. So you can file a lawsuit whether or not we have notice pleading in the state. You know what notice pleading is? Meaning you can notice in your pleadings what happened or did not happen. I have reviewed the videos. The videos may be evidence that is utilized in a actual evidentiary proceeding or a trial, but it's unlikely to be, it's not necessary. I don't see anything in it that's necessary in order for you to file a lawsuit under the notice pleading laws of North Carolina and our civil procedure.
Okay. So so earlier I heard Jessica mention City Council's next closed door meeting is Monday. Is that correct?
The 27th.
This upcoming Monday?
No, next Monday's a holiday. It's the MLK Day. So
I see.
Their next session is the 27th. And so then I would authorize the documents to be released to you on the 28th then.
I see your point. How about this? I think this is, and I want to be, again, I'm a novice, right? So I don't know the law in and out like you all do. Does this work? Releasing it to me today and then not releasing it to media until after that closed door session. Is that reasonable?
Ms. Battle, do you have any objection to I guess it would be a protective order included in the order that Mr. Bowman not release or utilize the video on social media or through any media, publish it in any way until after January 28th or January 28th or late or thereafter?
No, Your Honor, I would not object to that as long as Mr. Bowman understands the sort of ramifications if the video were to be
So what
released.
I will tell you, Mr. Bowman, I'll sign an order. They're not objecting to that for them to release it to you now. But there will also
Mhm.
be an order included that you are not to publish it in any way until January 28th. In other words, you can use it for your litigation. You can use it for private purposes. You can obviously watch it or and use it for your litigation or show it to your attorney, et cetera. You just can't publish it on social media or media outlets until January 28th. If for some reason you did publish it prior to the 28th, you could end up being held in contempt of court. That's what the ramifications are. So,
All right. Now, again, I have a cognitive impairment, so I just want to repeat
Sure.
so I'm clear and not to be Clintonian. But when you say publish it meaning video plus audio, is that what we're referring to?
either the video or the audio, anything that's released to you by CMPD, you can't publish. So that would be either the video or the audio until January 28th.
Okay.
After January
However,
28th, after January 28th, you're free to utilize the audio and the video in any way you see fit.
okay. Now, I already have a transcript of that of the parts that my own that I let me repeat. I already have a written text transcript of what appears in the body camera footage. Is that fair game to file in my lawsuit that's upcoming?
So Ms. Battle's not objecting to you utilizing this in filing a lawsuit. She's objecting to you publishing it through the media or social media or other any
fine.
other form of publication. Filing a lawsuit is not what she's talking about. Let me make sure, Ms. Battle, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And
Thank you. That's totally fine. I get it now. Yep.
All right.
I appreciate both of you for that. Yep.
so I will sign an order, Ms. Battle, if you'll draft an order and submit it through Odyssey. I will sign that order, and then if you would go ahead and release to Mr. Bowman the video, and obviously the order will include a provision that Mr. Bowman is not to publish the video or audio obtained from CMPD until January the 28th, following the opportunity for CMPD to show this video and audio to the city council in a closed door session.
And can we also make sure, because I don't want to run into any procedural errors down the line, that we specify that the text with it, the transcripts within that may appear within a court filing or complaint.
Ms. Battle, just include that language in there that he can utilize it for litigation purposes.
Yes, Your Honor, will do.
I appreciate
Thank
it. Thanks, both of you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Battle. Thank you, Mr. Bowman.
Okay, take care.
Ms. Battle, we have another case at 2:30. Thank you, sir. We have another case
right,
at 2:30 with George.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I
Give me
actually
just a-
texted Mr. Lauren to make sure he was aware, just knowing him, he normally logs into things early. So I texted to make sure he was aware, and I